Alhamdulillah, wassalam ala Rasulullah. I'm happy to be with you, and I'm sleeping and you wake me up. Because tsunami only come to Indonesia. There's a humanitarian tsunami, a social tsunami, political tsunami, academic tsunami, cultural tsunami, drama tsunami, singing tsunami, dancing tsunami. You are the creator of tsunami. Tsunami of love, care, compassion, tsunami of history, current time, and future, tsunami of renaissance, civilization, and development, tsunami of Earth, globe, and universe, tsunami of philosophy, ideology, and procedures. All this tsunami come from the Far East to prove to humanity that Islam is a seed that can travel thousands of miles without a sword, without a gun, without a bullet, without missile, and create tsunami of Islam. You are the tsunami people, being given the power by Allah to use tsunami to build the community, to build the universe, to build the globe, to build peace, to build the future leadership. See, when you look at Mecca, look at Medina, far away, you can't walk it. People did walk it. It's only that you walk beyond you to China, and you walk in Japan, and different parts of the world to create a tsunami of Islam, which every creation of God is desperately waiting to enjoy it, not only just to see it. To feel it is culture, the climate is creating. Talk about climate change. We did not do the bad climate change. The people who think that they are civilized, which they are not civilized, spoiled the whole world. Spoiled, and still spoiling it with one word: the world of injustice, the world of hypocrisy, the world of double standard, the world of oppression, the world of stealing resources of poor people. Exactly like Gog and Magog used to come to the people who could not be able to speak a written language at the time, or a language at that time, and they used to come every year to steal the crops, the animals, even to rape the women and the girls and take them with them. This is what we want you to do, to be able, which you are absolutely able, to create a tsunami of coordination, communication, networking, training, and investing in the younger generation, male and female, from the volunteer base into the chairmanship and the board basis. And this is tsunami which should come back to try to tell the whole world that we are here to teach you, not to be educated by you only, to lead you, not to only be led by you temporarily, to be ahead of you, not to be followers of you only. Because when the seed of Islam came here, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it came to create the character, or to shape the character of people of this area. Do not ever and never and forever underestimate what Allah gives you of knowledge, of talent, of intellect in yourself. Each one of us here is talented. Each one of us here having a lot of high IQ. Don't listen to those thugs who said that your IQ is less than our IQs. They are not amongst the fair and just and balanced people. We are all having the same. But sometimes people discover their talent and intellect and people become lazy, want to sleep, don't work to discover the talent and the intellect that Allah has put inside the heart of every individual created from Adam till Allah will inherit the whole life again. Each one of you is talented. Each one of you is pioneer. Each one of you is a great character. But you need to discover yourself by yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to come and to discover your talent. Try and fail. Try and fail. Try and fail. And if you fail and become unable, your children will read your history. Say, my parents or our parents tried, let's try again. Let's try again. We might not win the leadership at our time, but our children will, because they have seen us trying with no resources. And this is how we started 40 years ago, young men and young women. You know this step? No. You know this beautiful, what do you call it?
Sofa.
Sofa? You cannot find it in the West. You cannot use it. It's precious. You only make it here and use it here. I was watching the young woman yesterday driving the motorbike. Very good sign of leadership. We don't have it in the West. They can drive cars, they can drive aeroplanes, bicycles, but driving motorcycle is a high risk. The speed and the vulnerability of the road. But you here discover that the woman or the young girl can drive the motorbike. This is the beginning of having confidence in yourself that you can do better and better and better. So I trust you, and each one of us today and tomorrow have to look at himself and herself exactly like the Sahaba Kiram who came from the Bedouin era to become the greatest and most knowledgeable people for humanity. A shepherd, a slave, a servant became muhaddith, scholar and guide for humanity. Those people, Islam shaped them, reformed them, and they made the climate change for humanity. Somebody else came and is still distorting the climate, and we are suffering up till now, here and there and there, and they do not admit that because they are the polluter who are suffering. The most advanced or most called civilized nations are the people who are spoiling the climate, life of people, whether social climate, political climate, environmental climate and others. And they don't admit that they are the wrong ones. 60 to 70% of the pollution and behind the rise of temperature of the globe and making the negative climate change are those people who claim wrongly that they are the civilized nation. Civilization is about people empowerment. And I love, what is Zul? Zul. Come on, Zul. Come on, Zul. When I met him, I told you, are you Zul Qarnayn?
ذو العصفي.
What?
ذو العصفي في سورة الرحمن. ذو العصفي
ذو العصفي
والريحان والريحان.
ذو العصفي.
أنت ذو العصف
لا.
وأنا ذو القرنين.
sama-sama dulu.
سواء.
Thank you. The philosophy of the Qarnayn of making the climate, the positive climate change, and made the climate change was based on justice and what he did as a just king. When he went to those vulnerable people, first of all, he protected them with his army from Gog and Magog. This is protection. People in the program here, come and teach me protection and empowerment. I tell you, go to the Qarnayn. Don't come and teach me now. Protection. Second one, they wanted to reward him. He said, no, what Allah gave me is far more better. He did it to help the community for no reward. Third one, he discovered their local resources. I told you Zubar al-Hadid. The blocks of iron were on the mountain, just bring it. It's number 3. Number 4, he engaged them with him. He says, community operational engagement with the Qarnayn. Cut the iron, get the copper, get the wood, and let us burn and build the furnaces which you can melt the copper and the iron and make the alloy and make the wood. So here is community engagement. Partnership is about community engagement of the Qarnayn with the people who could not be able to speak a language, understood language. This is number 4. Number 5, actually, he transferred the technology to them for nothing, for free, not to occupy them. Technology transfer in building the furnaces, in melting the iron, mixing the iron with the copper, and building the wall, and showing them how it's being done. Don't come and lecture me nowadays about somebody telling you empowerment or engagement. Go to the Qarnayn and you will learn from him how did he do it 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. And this is where in the Quran. Quran here? Mafi? And this is in the Quran. But we do not dig deep down inside the book of eternity to understand the depths of the knowledge, which could be interpreted differently at different times. The scientific knowledge, the technological knowledge, the historical knowledge, the value-based knowledge, the moral knowledge, the artistic linguistic knowledge, the cultural knowledge, the knowledge of creation, the knowledge of imagination can let you dream, to look beyond the globe, to see, or to try to see the universe. So when I come to you here, we sit down together, talk about meal or deal or will. They keep changing the terminology every other year to control the scope of humanitarian response. What's meal? Meal monitoring, so what? Evaluation, so what? Accountability, so what? And learning. If you look back at the history of the people who used to walk with no shoes, but with heart, with mind, and soul. They have done it, and somebody else came and stole the knowledge and put it with their names. You become a knowledge maker. You become a cultural creator. You become a value-based moral system to show others. Enough is enough for you to be followers. It's no good that you have an organization which has got all this worth of money and still bending its back to somebody less in moral value than them. This is what we are doing nowadays. This is what we are doing nowadays. Because we do not read the history, we do not protect our family. The most important institution in any country or any society or any nation is the family. Family is an institution. We are convincing young people not to get married early, not to have children, or live independently because they have income. What I talk about this is absolutely wrong, but we are following. So our family are actually shrinking. The divorce rate become high. The unmarried individual boys and girls who would like to not have headache increase. That's why we are killing the family and we are killing our society and we are killing our future. This is number one, institution. Number two, the institution of the worshiping places, which is the mosque. And they're investing in the imam, not in the walls. We invest in the bricks, cement, and sand, and doors, and wood, more than investing in the imam and the musallin. What kind of inferiority complex is this? We find that the walls of the mosque, and whenever anybody comes to the mosque, I see, Bismillah, mashallah. Where is the Musallin? What is the value of the knowledge that the Muslims are having? This is because we follow the shadow of others. The third institution is education, school, and the most important is a teacher. Teacher who has been considered by the Arab poetries as a prophet because he teaches generations to come. Our investing also in the teachers, in this, the bricks. We have 1,000 boys and 1,000 girls in our school, but what they are when they leave the school. Yes, institution number 3 as your social organization. Institution number 4 is library. Do we teach our children how to read? Do we have a library in our houses? Do we encourage our government to build libraries for everybody? In Baghdad, at the time of Mughal, when they came to Baghdad, it was at least 100 reading libraries, back to back. You tell me that you are the change maker, I tell you, go and change the pampers of your children. Not change maker. 100 and more, back to back library, reading libraries in Baghdad. This is an institution number 4 or number 5. 4 isn't it? Issue number 5 is a museum to show our children the history. what kind of museum that we have to know how our ancestors managed to live in the middle of the jungle, and we came out from the jungle to become a highly educated people. Number 6, investing in research, studies. Number 7, research and investing in think tank. Who is thinking for us? And all of us are firefighters. No one will never go forward because we are firefighting the fires every day. This is how we should invest in our society. The family, the mosque, the school, the library, the museum, the research institution, and the think tank. I'm not going to talk about Islamic Relief unless you ask me, because my investment in myself and with all of us is to talk about what we need to do. And I said, if you have the tsunami, you need to create the tsunami. And if we're talking about expected, the mega trust, without networking, communication, bridge building, and partnership, we are all sinners. SINNERS. The community is not yours. The land is not yours. The knowledge is not yours. The resources is not yours. The life of people does not belong to you. To keep the knowledge for yourself. We are sinners if we are not communicating and sharing the knowledge and sharing the experience and being prepared. I think I'll stop, and there were 4 specific questions about Islamic Relief Indonesia or Islamic Relief worldwide or anything you want. Even I can sing for you. By the way, do you know how to deal with animals? No. You know, TV presenter, come here. Come here.
Don't be afraid. Be happy.
Okay.
I'll speak to you in animal language and you need to respond back to me.
All right. I'll try. Meow.
Okay, let us go out together. Now you can speak animal language. You have to look after the animals. You have to look after the ground. A part of our deen, where Allah has surah called Baqarah, cow, surah called Nahl, which is bees, surah called Naml, ants. What else?
الفيل.
العنكبوت. العنكبوت أهم فيها. Okay. See all this. نساء سورة called الطلاق. سورة called what do you call it? المجادلة. The star of المجادلة was a woman. So called what's her name? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. المجادلة. لا مش التحليل.
الحشرة.
الممتحنة. ممتحنة. Now you can come and stand here because you are الممتحنة. Your name is called كلثوم بنت عقبة ابن أبي معيط. I love this mother of ours. At the age of 14 or 15, she became a Muslim. Her father was the one who was throwing the stomach and the dirt on the Prophet ﷺ and started to strangle him.
Yeah.
And she kept her Islam secret. The father, her brothers did not know that. And she was very beautiful, very intelligent, from a very big family. Her father was killed at the battlefield of Badr. People came to want to marry Sayyida Kulthum. She refused, pretending that she is sad for the death of her father. When the Prophet ﷺ immigrated to Medina, she was very upset because the nur and the belief were taken from Mecca to Medina, but she couldn't be able to travel with him. Then, when the Treaty of Hudaybiyah came and said that the Kafir who become Muslims will send him back, she couldn't be able to take it. She said, enough is enough, I'm leaving. She immigrated from Mecca to Medina alone at the age of 19, 20, 21. She was like a knight going to meet her teacher and be with him. This is Al-Mumtahana. When she arrived there, sister, what's your name?
Novi.
Novi. Your sister knew her. Okay? Everybody was welcoming her. Because she's young, energetic, dynamic, strong, believer. When they come and tell you Islam does not give freedom to women, tell them get lost. Get absolute lost. All the companions were very happy, and the Ansar were very happy. But the Prophet was in a dilemma, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of the treaty. He has to send her back. Everybody said, no, Prophet, no. He couldn't be able to say yes or no, because they cannot break the treaty. Okay? Till the ayah came. It was revealed for Kulthum. Then afterwards, alhamdulillah, she stayed in Medina. Then she married the wealthiest man in Medina, which was Abdurrahman ibn Auf, and had many children for him. You know the story?
A little bit.
Just now.
That's how Islam empowered women. How Islam empowered women. When they come and tell you, you look miserable because you are wearing hijab, tell them, sir, I don't want to be looking like this miserable who wear nothing. Protect your culture, respect your culture, the Islamic culture, and tell them, I'll conclude with this. Somebody called Malik bin Nabi. Malik bin Nabi was a philosopher, Algerian. He was very deep in philosophy and the Arabic language. And he was in Paris, eating in one of the most aristocratic restaurants. And was eating with his hand like you. And a woman from the aristocrat, the French aristocrat, walked in a very arrogant way towards him, telling him, sir, I'm just trying to imagine because I'm a movie director. I make director ship to the movies. Sir, these forks are here, a knife and a spoon for you to use when you eat. He looked in confidence to her, standing in front of him, telling her, yes, my lady, these have been made for the people who have dirty hands, so they can use it. But my hand is clean. That's why I'm using my clean hand to eat with it. For the people with dirty hands, they can use the fork and knife and the spoon. The woman was shocked and left. You have to be confident in what you have. Yes, Sister Novi. Question, answer time.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, ask her.
Okay. Alright, thank you very much, Dr. Hani Olnana, for an amazing speech. So, if anybody would give a question to Dr. Hani Olnana, just raise your hand and come in front of here, I think, and say the question, please. Anybody wants to ask?
Yeah.
Ya, bercanda.
Come sit near to Sister Novi and talk to the public. Sit down, sit down. You are on the stage now.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I have one question, Brother Hani. So I know, like, when you start building this organization, you are still young at the time, and then what make you turn? You know, maybe that's the time you turn from your youngest life, and then have an idea to build this organization and then become big like this, yeah, worldwide organization. So maybe you can like tell us what happened at the time and where idea that come to you, yeah, something. Yeah.
All right. So we started in 1983, not 84. 84 was the official. 83, there was a famine in Africa, and I was doing my doctoral medicine, which is PhD in Birmingham Medical School. The whole world was standing up because of the famine in Ethiopia. 2-3 million people affected, hundreds of thousands died. So we're sitting doing nothing as young Muslims. Mosques are raising fund, giving it to the organization in UK. The media focused on the non-Muslim, not on the Muslim. Despite the fact the area where they come from were called Eritrea and Tigray. Eritrea, up till now, it was 70 to 80% Muslims. But the media, power of media, did not show the Muslim people who were dying in the middle of the famine. You got the message?
Yeah.
Who's in the media? The power of media can change the culture, the philosophy of thinking, the future of people. Till I was invited to Sudan in December 1983, when I went there and discovered that most, or half at least, of those people are Muslims. And they need help. And they were the people of the first immigration of the companion from Mecca to Medina at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. This Eritrea, which now is a state. He gave me some photograph. There's no big thinking about it. There was no big thinking. No strategy, no workshops, all these kind of things. They taught you to be drowned yourself in it. Because the humanitarian response is an act of love, the acting to the need of the people that you don't know and you have not met before. You react because you love those people who are not related to you. He gave me the photographs. I stopped in Cairo for a few days as a transit to see my family. The first donation was 20 pence for man and boy. No strategy. Sister Novi, Brother Zul, or Brother Na. You. No strategy. We started there. Then I came back to UK after raising £1,500 from my family in Cairo. was looking after for somebody to help me. Making a start. Everybody was interested in Afghanistan. I said, okay, fine. Only one brother who was Iraqi Palestinian. Said he was a colleague of mine doing his PhD in chemistry. He said, I'm with you. This brother, okay, his face was full of nur. His smile is reflection of the Iman in his heart. He reminds you, Sahaba Kiram. He is the one who started, or I started with him.
This is
His name is Ihsan.
the son.
One of you. Right. Huh? Yeah, but yeah, I know. And he was the spirit of what you have today. Is he with us today? No. But he put the seed of his love inside the soil of Islamic Relief land. You people think that somebody give us some money or somebody is brilliant or superstar or a good for brain. Most of the time, somebody who have a heart to care for humanity and see humanity in his heart settling at peace. When you put humanity in your heart, Allah will enable you to empower humanity. This was Ihsan. It was me. I was a legging man. I leg here. At the time I was 32. Today I'm 37.
Very young.
Yeah.
Younger than him, he's old. See, look at his face. You might find people having blood pressure and diabetes and we're still young. So we started at that time without office, without budget, without employees. And listen to Sister Novi because you are surprised. The people who built the Islamic Relief from mid-80s to 90s are the school children, are the university students. Not big, big sheikhs or big imams or big scholars, or the community, whom their mothers trusted us to give us her children. And you can ask Affan Shima, you can ask Jahangir Malik, you can ask Anwar Khan, you can ask Aflaq Sulaiman. Harun came later on. So from 85 to 1991 was this group of young people. Second wave was a group of another young people, or what qualified young people, who amongst them was Harun Atallah, Nasr Haji Hamid, Mustafa Osman, Fadi Itani, what else? Khalid Roy, which is not there anymore. Mahmoud Hassan also was a master degree, was a brilliant brain from Pakistan. No. I think there are the 5 or 6 of them. Okay, they took Islamic Relief from 92, 93 to the golden era. The golden era. Also, a lot of young girls were there as well. But those two groups, the school students the university students, then the young men and female from 92, 93 to 2000 made the history different, or created the wave of the global international humanitarian movement from Midwest, which is still now happening. So the most precious resources you have in Indonesia is the human resources, not the gold, not the water, not the soil, not the gas, not the minerals, not the uranium. Because if you have got all these words with no brain, we become like the nomad at the time of the Qarnayn. Because they have everything, but they didn't know what they have. This is how we started. Then, all the time, and this for all of you, people at that time said, Oxfam is doing this, Save the Children. I said, no, we are not Oxfam. From that time, we are Islamic Relief. You do your policy, your strategy, ideology. We respect the others, but why should I look like you? If I can be myself, I don't have to be you. I be like myself. I believe that I can make the change, and we can make the change, and we'll make the change. The tsunami who claimed the life of 250,000 people 22 years ago, and here you have to create the other tsunami. The tsunami of trust in yourself, your deen, your country, your Lord, your Prophet, and your history. You got how we started?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. It's really inspiring.
Another question, Sister Nobi.
Mr. Dalek. Thank you, Mr. Chandra. So anyone else want to ask Dr. Hani? Mr. Zul, if you want.
Come in, Sister Zul. What's the name? Surah
Zul
العصفور ريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. تعصف وات؟ عصف يعني. عاصفة يعني؟ عصف عاصفة. ها؟
Flowers from Jannah.
Thank you very much. Actually, I watched you interviewing the Al Jazeera channel a few weeks ago about the story of Islam, but I couldn't finish because there were some stories, because they're also in Arabic, using the
Subtitle.
Egyptian dialect. So it's very difficult for me to understand sometimes. And I would like to ask what kind of challenges did you face in the first place when you established the Islamic Relief, and how other countries like United States and Europe, Canada also have Islamic Relief. How did you establish the network for that?
Okay.
That's my question.
Thank you. First challenge was human resources. Because there was no human resources from our young people specializing in humanitarian work. Okay? So we have to start from scratch. And whenever we find a young qualified male or female, they don't join us. Because we have no future for them, have no money for them. This is number one. Number two, our name, which was given to us by Yusuf Islam, Kat Steve. Islamic Relief name was given to us in 1985 by Yusuf Islam. May Allah bless him. 1985. 85. And there was a debate, big debate inside the Islamic Relief member. France, Belgium, Holland, we need to change the name. Said no, in a firm way, and we said we have to create a professional organization and let people to respect our performance, not our name. The discussion was in 1995. The second challenge. It was not Islamophobia, but it was Islamization of people. This was have been attacked many times by the media in the West and in the East. And the challenge like this was very clear when we were registering United Islamic Relief at UN, 1993. Don't come and tell me UN is just policy and procedure and strategy and fairness. We have been blocked by one of the ambassadors who did not want Islamic Relief to be registered. This is March 1993. I was there in the room with, I forgot Salah Saeed, about the young people. Salah Saeed is the head of the EC now. May Allah bless him. I was myself, Salah Saeed and Khalid Roy. Went for interview to get the registration at ECOSOC. Big hall, many ambassadors. When I went to the stage, all of them raised their hands. Because my beard was very long, and the name was Islamic Relief. Difficult questions. But with the help of Khalid the night before, forecasting what I'm going to be asked the next day, I answered all the questions. Then I thought that would have been approved. No decision was made on the spot. The kitchen needs cooks to cook behind the walls what you are going to eat later on. This was Tuesday, we were gone, Wednesday, gone, Thursday, and Friday, we need to go home. The Sudanese ambassador, may Allah bless his soul, told me, Hani, said what? Said, what's your postal status? What do you mean? Come after 2 weeks. I shouted in the middle of a big hall with all the ambassadors are there. Then not shouted only, because if you are not watching the old Egyptian movie, which you don't understand the Egyptian language, or not language, mixed language. I went to the stage without permission. I took the microphone. Can you imagine? I tell them, I have been here for 1 week. Gave you everything you want. Reports and statistical data, registration certificate, answered all your questions. What else you want? The situation was electric, or was shocking. Because the chairwoman was many times telling me, come down. I said, no, I'm not going to come down. Why should I come down? Why should I listen to you? I gave you everything. She was Filipino. She was a very nice woman. Then you know what happened? The Irish ambassador took the microphone and said, we have heard the representative of Islamic Relief. He gave us all what we want, all what we need. Even they donated at that time 300 metric tons of wheat flour to our office in Bosnia. Before just I endorsed Islamic Relief. So the first endorsement came from European. Because we did not have anybody. Allah we have.
European Irish also ruled Palestine.
Oh, I'm talking about 93 now. So Monday I came and I talked to the Sudanese ambassador. They don't listen. Listen. Sudanese, huh?
Sudanese.
Yeah.
Sundanese.
No, Sudanese. Bismillah, mashallah, somebody 7, 8 foot tall said, if you don't say something nice, I will ask Hosni Mubarak to stop the Nile coming to you. He said, don't do it. He went to the stage and he gave a khutbah speech. Jum'ah. And Islamic Relief Kaza wal Islamic Relief Kaza wal Islamic Relief Kaza. I don't know for how long. Then the woman on charge said, because if there's any objection, you have to delay. You have to be consensus. So I have African, the endorsement, and European endorsement. The woman said, any objection? Any objection? Any objection? No, Islamic Relief Register. But inside United Nations, it's not easy to take your right if it was right. You have to fight for your right to get the right done for yourself, for you and your community. What's being written in the policies and principles we're in is not what sometimes you find it inside the Security Council. You got what I want as a meaning, so you have to fight hard to get your rights. This was some of the challenges. But at that time, we wanted to be inside the kitchen, seeing what is the food recipe for community, what is the way to cook it, who is the cooks, and to whom they give it to. This is 1993, when we were 7 or 6 or 8 years old, called a vision, called a foresight, called identifying where the decision is made to be a part of the decision maker, but a part of the implementers. Not somebody throwing some money for you to do program in Indonesia or Pakistan. They're very proud. No, you have to be there with them to make the decision. To be asked to their table or to be a member of their table. Yes, Brother Zul?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sister Noor, stand up and ask somebody else.
شكرا جزيلا شيخ.
العزف والريحان.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ridwan. So for next, Mr. Ali.
Assalamualaikum, brother. May I have 3 questions?
Bluetooth connected.
So, you tell us already about the story. How did you establish this organization with the successful story like this? Then after 40 years already, we are in 40 countries right now. I think this is an amazing organization. But my first question is, do you still have another dream for Islamic Relief?
Yes, I do.
That's the first question. The second question, you are inspiring leaders.
I don't know that.
That's why I tell you, brother.
Tell me, okay, thank you.
So in here, there are many young people who still have long way to go for their professional career.
Yes.
I think please give them your advice how to build a professional
Got
career.
it.
Yeah.
Third question.
The third one, personally, I am enjoying working with Islamic Relief for many reasons. One, because I got salary every month, so I can feed my
Children.
family, my children and my wife. Second,
Bluetooth
We
disconnected.
through Islamic Relief work, we have been working a good thing for other people.
Yeah.
We create impact, we change other people's life. We see when I go to the field, we saw that how big smile coming from other people face because of our support of our intervention. And in addition to that, I believe that whatever we do through Islamic Relief work also will be rewarded by Allah, because this is something critical berpahala from Allah. So, and we pray that all of us will be met again in Jannah. So my third question is, give us advice why we should keep this kind of work, why we should be proud working with Islamic Relief, and then we should be stay working with Islamic Relief because of many reasons that maybe you can advise us.
Thank you.
brother.
First of all, thank you for the 3 questions. The last question is, Islamic Relief and the other organizations are dunya and akhirah at the same time. Allah does not, you do not choose it. Allah choosing you. When I came to UK in 1977 to do my medical degree, become a doctor, become very wealthy,
Bluetooth
like most of
connected.
the doctors are, I did not know that I came through Islamic Relief. Even when I was trying to get married, I was refused quite a few times by the mother of the girl. The girl agreed, the girls agreed, 4 or 5. I was very handsome. If any of you could have met me there, you could have run after me.
Still very handsome.
No. You haven't seen me with hair. I used to have hair. Be careful, Sister Novi, is to come not close to me because it really attracted to me. Anyway, so Allah did that because none of the family would have been suitable to stand with me when I got Islamic Relief started. So because the mother was there, the father was there, and the Egyptian mother-in-law is somebody that you either you let her to love you, or she will, you'll have something else. And even the choice of my wife, that she lost her mother when she's young, girl, and her father died before we got married. She was 100% for the family. And Allah chosen her to look after the institution of the family, and she is not extrovert, does not be under the spotlight. So she gave me the space while she was protecting the family. This is some part of what I'm trying to say, how we started. Sometimes we don't have the choice. I discovered this, when? A few years ago, I was just reflecting back of my first 40 years in UK, from 77 to 2007. I said, I did not come to UK for the degree. Allah sent me to UK for Islamic Relief, but I did not know that. And the doctorate came to me as a token of appreciation afterwards. Tell me, honey, you started this, okay, fine. You take this degree as well. Because sometimes in the Arab world, if you don't have a title of a degree, they disrespect you. So I've got many titles now. Okay, and this is how it is. The only thing which is very crucial for you when you work for a humanitarian organization is the fine line between what is right and what is wrong, which is the intention. That's why keep renewing your intention every day, every hour, every minute. try not to step to one side, to the wrong side. This is actually to answer the last one. The first question was,
Your dream? Your
my dream.
Yeah.
We should not stop dreaming, because none of the human beings stop dreaming. Even the animals, when they have their little ones, the mother and the father or the flock fight to protect them because they want them to become the second and third generation. And when you speak to them, as Novi and I were speaking this morning, that means that go and make me a cup of tea. She didn't catch it, but she's a cat and I'm a dog. So even those, so the Prophet ﷺ was dreaming when the Muslims were tortured in Mecca about the conquest of Rome and conquest of other cities. هو الخندق, he saw the sparkle of light of the palaces. And in Mecca, in the shade of Mecca, in Kaaba, Khabbab bin Arat came and was complaining about his torture because the landlady of Khabbab bin Arat was actually ironing his body with an iron bar, flammable one. And he was complaining, and he told them, you hurry up, you have to be patient. So at that time, Prophet ﷺ has a dream of Rome, the dream of, not at the time of Khandaq, he saw the dream of Rome and others, where all the tribes of the Arabian Peninsula were surrounding him. He did not stop dreaming. You shouldn't live without a dream. Sometimes you can have the dream happening, sometimes you can't. But you have to transfer and give the dream to the people behind you. My dream now went beyond the Islamic Relief. The Islamic Relief were actually like the first movement of humanitarian response globally, which started 40 years ago. And it created the new climate, and it changed the climate. Now, it's not enough. Islamic Relief should be like a scholar, not to be bogged down only with implementing program. So it has to think futurely, socially, and realistically for the future of not only the sector, of the whole humanity. This is what Islamic Relief after 40 years should be doing. And my dream for Islamic Relief now is to becoming the producer of the future leaders, the young future leaders from different parts of the world. This is my dream. Because we have the money. We can pick up any document and implement the policies, but we don't produce leaders. If we don't produce leaders, we'll never become leaders to lead. It will be people will be led by non-qualified leaders. This is my second dream. Third point,
Advice for young people to
young people work like a donkey. Don't stop when you are young and not married in the university and when you qualify. You use yourself as a sponge to absorb knowledge, to absorb experience, to keep listening. Don't start shouting because you have social media and you have seen so and so doing it. So what? You don't know how he did it. You don't know how she did it. She tried many, many times and they're just showing the results. Don't be only driven by technology. Use the technology. Create the technology. Change the technology. Because technology could be self-destructive. And the one who started this technology was a Muslim like you. His name is Khwarizmi. You know, algorithm. Yeah, what's algorithm?
Algorithm is about the counting
Yeah.
from one to the next logic.
Algebra.
Algebra. Now almost every process using algorithm.
That's it. The one who started algorithm was like you. Absolutely like you. So what's the difference between you and him? After 1,000 years, the whole world is using his technology. Why don't you create a new technology? If you let yourself live in the darkness of sorrow, oh Gaza, oh Syria, oh Yemen, and so what are you going to do? Don't stop, don't keep crying without thinking of solution, without thinking of becoming a leader, without thinking of believing in what you have, because this is the best for humanity. Young people, don't let the AI to flatten your wrinkling of your brain and your intellect, because you'll be depending on the AI, and the AI will make you, if you have seen the Planet Ape, it will be the Planet Ape community. I'm seriously. Technology sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, creating a dependency syndrome on you. Try to balance between using the technology as well as advancing with the technology.
Bluetooth connected.
So, anybody else? I think brother wants to ask a question.
Thank you, brother.
Because he's from the far west.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, brother.
And by the way, you know, say what?
What?
No.
No.
Why did we open the office in Canada? I don't know. Go on.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Hani. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you. Very, very inspired by your work. After 40 years and in a very long life, you could have taken a lot of risks in building Islamic Relief and to get here where you are. Do you have any regrets? Is there anything
No.
you wish you could have done? Or anything you wish you did differently or better?
If I go back 40 years ago to look at what have been done, I will use the principles, but with the philosophy and the culture and technology of the current time. Because they cannot use the same methodology all the time. But the principles has to be there, not to change it. What international community is trying to do to us is changing the moral values, changing the culture, changing the philosophy of thinking, changing the ideology. I will invest from day one in the young people. No matter what. Because they were the creator of Islamic. I will invest from the very beginning in the community. Like Dhul Qarnayn, very proud of saying that Dhul Qarnayn is my role model. Come and tell me nowadays, after 50 or 60 or 100 years of an INGO working in a local area, have they empowered the local community and led them to stand on their feet, or after 100 years, they're still stretching their hands for support? Have they bridged the gap between them and their technology and the technology of their community, or we're still going back to them? This is the answer. We have been doing it ad hoc without knowing what we're doing, but if we go back, we'll cement it. Community is your leader, community is your resources, community is your future. Invest in it. You don't have to stay forever in a place like that, like exactly what Dhul Qarnayn did. This is the philosophy of Islam. The other was the philosophy of colonial humanitarianism. Whether people like what I'm saying or not, it's entirely up to me to say what I believe in. It's entirely up to you. to like it or not. Here is the confidence. Sometimes with your belief you have to stand with arrogance at certain stages, but with modesty when you deal with the community. Yes? Anybody else? Last one, because I need to go to the house of, otherwise, no, the house of,
بالنسبة للأوفيس.
You got it?
Office.
But he does not know. He'll ask me another question. Yes, brother.
Right, thank you, brother. Thank you, Dr. Hani. It's very impressed to you to meet today because you are very inspiring from you about your argument about your story. I want to wonder about the first question from you about the give us a little learning about the maqasid Sharia.
I'm not specialized.
because as we know about the NGO from the Islamic Faith days become movement from the maqasid Sharia.
Yes.
Can you deeply learn us about the maqasid Sharia are?
So,
Thank you.
as Maqasid Sharia, the Sheikh is more qualified. But as myself, but myself,
From your,
not from me.
yeah.
because to be very honest, if you say that I don't know, you will say the right answer. And this for all of you. If sometimes you say you don't know something, you don't have to whisper and make a talk about it. So when I say that he can give it, he can give it. I believe that I be complimenting what he can say. No one of us knows everything. That's why I give him the microphone, and they have to. You say it in Malay, and it's not Malay. In and when I come back, Maqasid Sharia, there are 5. And this is what most of our organization are doing. Protection of a deen. When we go to any community, we should not change their deen. We should respect their deen. We should show the good example of our deen. If they want to follow us, up to them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, there is no compulsion in religion. لا إكراه في الدين. This is to respect the deen of the people that you are serving them. Number 2, protection of the soul of the individual. حفظ الصوت, حفظ النفس. When you are there, protect them. Don't leave them alone and run away because of your security. If you have been asked to go there to work with the community, so you protect their souls or their selves. حفظ العقل, protection of the mind, by fighting the intoxication of the mind. And educating people as much as you want, or as much as they want. So education from one side, to make them aware with what they are having, and telling them about the forbidden materials that they should not take to intoxicate their mind. Protection of the chastity, or al-'ird, or the vulnerable woman. And this is what we call it, the act of rape, which is happening to young girls, young boys, and women who are very vulnerable, especially the mothers who want to protect their children. We have to protect such women. I'm trying to change it from the theological Islamic into the community work. Last and not least, to protect their wealth. What does it mean? we should discover the resources, should protect them to develop the resources and make them richer community. So these 5 things, from the Sharia point of view, we can talk it from the theological point of view, that's fine, but we need to bring it as a program, to make it a part of our empowerment program to any community that we are trying to help. That's what exactly, actually what Sayyidina Dhul-Qarnayn did when he went to those people and protected them, empowered them, engaged with them, and discovered the resources and left. And protected them, protected the woman, the children, the resources. And he did not take any reward for it. Okay? This just to compliment what our Asatiza said before prayer about Maqasid al-Sharia.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
Okay, I would like to provide additional explanation with the Maqasid al-Sharia. It has explained that there are 5 objectives of Sharia. The first is to safeguard ad-din or religion, or in Arabic term, it is called Maqasid al-Din. Every Muslim should conduct their duty to dedicate their life to Allah, the Almighty God. And then Sharia guided us how is the way to worship God, to what is that perform dua for our life, our better life. This is the first. And the second is intellectual safeguard. Our lihibzil akli.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Intellectual is one of the most prominent
Bluetooth
and
connected.
most important assets in our life. So we have to keep it. Sharia guides us how to keep, to protect our intellectual. We have to eat halal, for example, halal food, halal beverage. We are not permitted to take other parts of other people, which called haram. So we have to protect ourselves from what is our religion forbid us. The third one is lihibzil nafs, or safeguard our self. Our religion teaches us that every Muslim should take care deeply to their maintenance their nafs. One way to keep our good self is to protect ourselves from what the God forbid us, and also to put forward what God asks us to do. And the fourth is what is that? Lihibzil mal, how to safeguard property. In our property can grow up. We have to conduct, for example, a good business based on the principle of Sharia, such as al-adli, and then we are inspired or guided by the most profound principle of Islam, that is Tawheed. What it does mean? It means that every Muslim who conduct the business, they should increase their awareness that God always see their action. This is one way to increase our awareness that the God is omnipresent to our life. And the last one is Lihiptil Nasab. Anasab.
Nasal.
Nasab.
Nasal. Family.
Al-Nasab.
Generation.
Al-Nasab or Al-Nasab.
The fifth.
Al-Nasab. Al-Nasab. As our brothers stated that two young boys, boy and a girl, in order to process a good relationship through nikah. We have to married, yeah. We got married and then we can do anything which is the religion asks us to do as our obligation as spouse in our life. Yeah, that's all of the objective of Sharia in Islam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Nuhu.
Should we open discussion again?
Yeah.
Turun kan?
Alright, thank you very much, Dr. Hani and Professor Said. So, if anybody wants to give a question to Dr. Hani and also our Sharia Supervisory Board, so please, if there's any questions.
From woman.
Woman, boys.
I will stand up, sister. Come in. I said, come here.
Yeah.
Devi.
Debbie?
Yeah. Go forward. Go forward.
No one did, no one did.
The passenger for a woman.
No one did.
First, I just have one advice from you, Dr. Hani. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Devi. I'm doing Islamic Relief Indonesia, start from disaster in Palu 2018. The first I'm as a volunteer, alhamdulillah now I'm part of staff in country office. I'm very proud to Islamic Relief and I want to thankful for you to found this great Islamic Relief and sorry I'm nervous.
Normal, everyone is nervous. Normal.
It's okay.
It's okay in English. You can do that.
Okay. And my question is, please your advice about the women's leadership.
Oh, very good. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me say it this way.
It's okay, brother.
Like Shuyukh.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, Rasulullah. From the very beginning of Islam, women's leadership was there by Sayyidah Khadija, radiallahu anha, whom she was the backbone of the Prophet ﷺ in social life, economical life, religious life, and in a wife and husband relationship. So she was doing all this. The practical role of Khadija radiallahu anha came when Muhammad ﷺ revealed the first wahy in Ghar Hira, and was shocked, and he ran away to whom? To a refuge, which is the wife as a leader of the house, as I said before. She hugged him, she covered him, she cleared his sweat, and you know what? She said, Wallahi inna Allah lan yakhzilaka abadan. With the name of Allah, Allah will never let you down. Leadership. She knew who was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not just as a husband or as a handsome man or somebody she loves, but as a leader of the community. And she started to put the 7 principles. You welcome people in your house and be very generous to them. You protect people. You help people. You empower the very weak one. And she mentioned 7 points. If our mashayikh translate into Bihasa and make it, I'm calling it Khadija principle, Khadija social principles. القاعدة الاجتماعية لخديجة. Make it to be a guidance for others. The shuyukh will mention the 7 or 8 of them, then you can make it a part of your program. Not only that, she was an advocate for Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and she was the first believer in Islam. And she was one of the 3 first people who embraced Islam: Abu Bakr, and Ali, and Muhammad. And Khadija. So she was the 3rd of Islam. Don't come and tell me I get my freedom or leadership from Paris or from Cairo, from Riyadh, or from Rome, or from London. No, I get my leadership as a woman from the statement of Khadija 1446 years ago. Then she took him by the hand to her cousin, whose name was Waraq ibn Nawfal. And when Waraq ibn Nawfal heard what the Prophet ﷺ, instantly he said, "This is the great angel of Allah, An-Namus al-A'zam. And I will wish to believe in you if I live long enough, and to see your people throwing you out of Mecca." Prophet ﷺ was shocked because he was the best man in Mecca, the most honest, the trustworthy. How on earth his people will throw him out? This is what Waraq ibn Nawfal told him. This was the role of Khadija radiallahu anha in Islam. And at any organization, women and young people plus wise old people should be present in the organization from bottom up, especially in the decision-making process. Why? Because you are, as a woman, Allah created you differently. You think about solution emotionally, with kindness, with compassion. You are not hard like the men who think, no, cool down, we need to think about it seriously, but you want to react. And not like then people who are hyper energetic and want things of next year to be done yesterday. The 3 people has to be there in the management of any organization, including women. And for myself, Maulanas and scholars in the room, I will never let the orphan sponsorship program to be run by men, especially visiting the widows and the children at home. Because what we have seen in different parts of the world, young beautiful women have been abused by relief workers. Even sometimes, in the case of Syria, if they wanted to know how beautiful is the mother, they look at the children. And they start to abuse the system. There's something inside the organization, brother Nana, you need to be, especially the visits to the houses or to the Chinatown, to be done by women, not men. Psychosocial support, which everybody's talking about it, and Khadija was doing it to Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam when he came back from Ghar Hira, should also be done by women. Because they are dealing with very vulnerable young children and young women, and even young men will be more comfortable to be in the company of a woman than the company of a man. This is a discrimination for me, number 2, positive discrimination. Third, positive discrimination, making the case study of the displaced people and refugees should be done also by women. Because the woman will be opening up with the man or with the woman in the temple, in the community. So really, we're not saying something new. This has been done 1446 years ago. And at the time of Umar, the first Minister of Commerce or Trade Minister was the Shifa, the woman in charge of the market of Medina. So don't come and tell me nowadays we have a Prime Minister after 1446 years ago. Umar employed a minister to look after the market of Medina, actually at the time of his Khilafah. Got it? Know your history to know where you stand. Know how it happened, how you have been empowered, how you have been made leaders, because you have the right to become leaders. Yes, Mr. Nubi.
Alright, thank you very much, Sister Devi, for your question.
What's your name?
Devi.
Huh?
Please remember my name, Devi.
David.
Yeah.
David.
Devi.
Baby.
Devi.
Please spell your name.
Right.
Dewi.
David. Oh, David.
Yes. Dewi Saptika.
Bismillah, mashallah.
Good question.
Karpi.
Okay, I think you want to ask question.
Question.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay. Assalamualaikum, Dr.
Alaikum
Hani.
salam wa rahmatullah.
Maybe my question is a little bit personal, is it okay?
Yes.
Like, yeah. You just explained about many of your experience, and then I just want to ask because I like to listen about people experience, you know, how they face their hard time. Every people have a hard time in their life, and then can you share to us what is the hardest time you face, and then how you what are you doing to come with that, and then yeah, that's, and then maybe another question is what is your red flag type of person, like what is you hate the most, the type of person you hate the most, like which character?
You are wearing what type of hat you are wearing?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a red flag person for you.
You reflect yourself. What is your type of person?
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Han.
Thank you. Sister, what's your name?
Arfi.
Arfi.
Arifin. Bismillah, mashallah. First of all, nowadays, after I mentioned earlier on that I discovered that Allah sent me to UK for Islamic Relief and gave me the doctorate as a token of appreciation. My hat now is writing what I learned from you people. This number one is responding to calls from young people for making a Zoom meeting to exchange our views and ideas. Number three, to organize with our small organization training program or meeting that we can have an impact. Number four, to be a part of invitation of anybody who invite us to speak in the conference, whether face to face or whether local. Number two, to advocate for what I want. What I want for advocacy is, number one, as I mentioned earlier, we wrote a book, now we published the book.
Yeah.
I've got 22 writers in it, or authors. This book talking about the new adhan. Adhan, you know adhan? And the new adhan means that you have to become the one who makes the adhan because it's your adhan. in the humanitarian work in the past, we used to listen to the adhan of the others. But now we have our new adhan. And humanitarian work has new dimensions. The new dimensions that you have to understand, they have to understand are history, culture, media, diplomacy, diplomacy, value, humanitarian values, and to the extreme, it will be art and drama. What is that to do with humanitarian work? It does, because the humanitarian field is full of a lot of knowledge. Humanitarian work is not only hand out of goods, or digging deep well, or making whatever you call it, a program or a project. Don't restrict the humanitarian field into this kind of things we have been taught about it, and creating a dependency syndrome. We created dependency syndrome. We have to get outside the box. Second thing, as I mentioned earlier, is to invest in youth, leadership, in research, studies, and in think tank. Because all our ummah are very weak in research and creating think tank. And we don't invest enough in young people because we use them as a piece of decoration. I take you, Arifin, I take Sister Nobi, and some other, when a prime minister or a president came, to put you in the front. Then after that, I ignore you. You have to be a valuable leader of your organization and your community. The first question, what was it?
It's about your life experience.
My experience.
The hard time.
Yeah.
My hardest time
Like a specific example.
in Bosnia.
Yes.
It was in Bosnia.
Yeah, that's why you see me wearing the Srebrenica flower. If you don't know Srebrenica flower, this was Srebrenica flower. Srebrenica was a town protected by United Nations peacekeeping forces from Holland. And they surrounded it to the terrorist groups of Serbia. In 3 days, they separated men from women. And in 3 days, 15,000 men disappeared. Up till now, they only found 8,500.
Then
They remain. Remain, not the hard body, just bones. And up till now, as the representative from the criminal court, the National Justice Court, said we're still having 7,000 people are missing. In 3 days, 15,000 men disappeared. One of the incidents on that day of Srebrenica, the most beautiful girl in the city. And here's the Sharia question to you, brother. The most beautiful girl in the city of Srebrenica was identified by the officers or by the guerrilla or this terrorist group. He told his people, go and put her in my office on the 3rd floor. When I finish, I'll go to her. What's he going to do to her? You know, all of you. The girl, psychologically, Maulana, thought that she's going to be raped. Not only once, systematically. Because from 1992 to 1995, there was an organized, systematic governmental raid. When the people giving tablets, pills, the soldier to attack our sisters in concentration camp more than once. To become pregnant and keep them in the concentration camp for months to stop them having abortion. This girl, she was alone and she was expecting that not only the officer would rape her, but others. She jumped from the window. And she died instantly. Some people might say that she died kafira. Some people might say no. What shall we do? Maybe the Maulanas can talk about it later on. So Bosnia was the worst ethnic cleansing. More than 250,000 of people were killed. 80% of them were Muslims. Okay. More than 50,000 young girls have been systematically raped by organized groups. Some of them became pregnant. And women in Europe could not be able to do much. We have to keep the balance between our emotion and our neutrality and impartiality. And we kept it. This was one of the most difficult practical times. The first question,
Those are only 2 questions.
I answered two.
Yes.
But what is your reaction? What is your
To what?
how you face that time?
I have to be cold-blooded. There's no feeling when you feel the ones who were killing your family because they need the help. At the time of helping, you have to help everybody. Don't discriminate. وَيَطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ مِسْكِينًا وَيَتِيمًا وَأَسِيرًا. In Surah, in Quran, they feed out of love. Whom? Miskinan, the miskin, the needy, yatim, the orphans, and the prisoners of war. The prisoners of war are the people who were killing you yesterday, tried to kill you yesterday. But when they become captive and prisoner of war, you have to feed them out of love, not just feeding them. Out of love and respect to feed them. Yes, Sister Nobi.
Thank you.
Mbak Nobi, saya mau tanya ya.
Silakan.
So I ask permission to Sister Nobi for one question.
Yeah, sure not.
No. She gave me permission.
Okay, she's the boss.
Okay, she's the boss. So yeah, we heard a lot about your experience, your, how do you call that? Your bravery. Is it? Your bravery. You're a very brave man. That's why no wonder the Queen Elizabeth II gave you an obit, officer, British Emperor. This is a knight because you are a fighter, a real fighter.
Yes.
We heard already about your, how do you call it? Your fight in front of the ambassador to get the license of ECOSOC. This is really inspiring us. I think what we are saying, Indonesia office can be bigger than others, can be bigger than Islamic USI, can be ahead of Islamic Relief worldwide because we have resources. We are very rich with everything. But the most important thing I learned, that value, the brave, you have to stand for the things that you think right. Yeah, you are showing. Yeah, you are taking the microphone and talk to everybody. I have already been here for 7 days. I fulfill all the things, but you asked me to go back within another 2 years, right? Wow, this is a really amazing story. That's why I think you deserve to get that reward from Queen Elizabeth II. Now my question. Just lately, when I joined in 2006, you came here, you brought an idea. I was still young in the humanitarian sector.
Yeah, I was still young.
Yeah.
But I'm younger.
During that time, 2006, yeah. I joined in 2005. You came here and you guided everybody. Talk about one thing, the harmony between the humanitarian actors from different regions. Because we heard a lot, even we have cases in West Sumatra when they are doing like a clandestine. Yeah? And you have been seeing many issues around humanitarian works.
That's why you come here to set up Humanitarian Forum Indonesia. Yeah? And now they are big, very big organization, very respected by the donors, very respected by the other players. And besides, you're also setting up another humanitarian forum in Syria, in Turkey, in Yemen, and in many others. Basically, you are the inspiring person. You have something in your mind, like you mentioned that when you came to UK, I have to do something. Even though it is not really thought before, but when you are seeing something, then you did something. So I want to know, brother, what is the story behind that? They set up the humanitarian everywhere, okay? And then why do you think that only Indonesia office that survived and can be bigger? What is your lesson learned? So the other humanitarian forum didn't work. Yeah. So this can be also a reflection for us. Yeah. As Islamic Relief Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Islamic Relief graduated me in 2008. I became graduate of Islamic Relief because I did humanitarian work for 24 years. It's enough, more than enough. From 2001 till later on, I started to think, because I became the president in 2003. So I have more time to think, more time to meet people, more time to have the time to do something different. That's why, and then after September 11th, I started to connect with all the governments globally. Tell them, don't ever associate Islam to terrorism. From this movement, after September 11th, we started to think of creating a humanitarian forum. It took us about 4 or 5 years to organize 14 workshops to talk about what humanitarian forum should do. We started from the first one, which was in London, at 28, 29 of June 2005, and go to other 13 countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Syria, Yemen, Jordan, Sudan, Egypt, Turkey, Kuwait, South Africa, and others. It was a new challenge for all of us. Even Western organization will join me. It's West, the German, as well as the Red Cross Crescent Movement, ICRC. Because we're trying to bridge the gap. This started because I had the time to think, as I told you, when I became president. If I could have been CEO, I could not have thought about it.
Yes.
All right? So, this started 2004, ended 2009. At that time, I was qualified. I went out, but I wanted to do something else. Because I had enough doing 22 humanitarian work. Then we did a lot of initiatives afterwards. Muslim Church Forum to bring Muslim Church together. Humanitarian Forum, the 5 problems found in 14 countries were capacity building, were humanitarian standard, understanding humanitarian standard, were communication networking or networking, building partnership, and building bridges, and governance, good governance. We find these 5 modules are problems in all the countries after having what do you call it, a no agenda conference. That's why we started. Then after that, we have many organizations. Some of them still succeeding, some of them fail. It's okay. Yes, Sister Nuvi.
Alright. So,
Anybody else?
don't have,
Masih ada lagi?
anyone still have questions to Dr. Hani? If not, I will ask you something.
Okay, last question from
Last
Mr.
question.
Nuvi.
Alright. So, to be honest, first thing first, I want to make some disclaimers before my questions. My questions is a little bit gonna have more pros and cons if I ask you this.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not pleasing anybody or any country today in these questions. And I'm just an officer, Dr. Hani, who responsibility for fundraising in Indonesia, especially for digital. I'm just curious about what should I do if there's someone who feels the same in this room, so you feel the same. My question is, what if, it's just what if there's some rules or some regulation. As before that, you always said in your speech about leaders and leaderships.
Yes.
So my question is, what about if the leaders make so much rules or so much regulations? So if we, as a fundraiser, want to make a campaign or want to make a programs, we should submit some permission for each campaigns or for each programs.
Yeah.
So we are, as a fundraiser, think about if the regulation for each campaigns we should permit, we should submit anything about data or about something like right holders identification or something like that, personal identification especially. It kind of takes a long time. What if tomorrow they're gonna die, or not even tomorrow, or even at the end of this night, they're gonna die? What should we do? Should we just go ahead and campaign the programs, or just waiting for the permit comes to us so we can campaign our programs?
You are responsible to the fulfillment of the dreams of the people you are serving. Some of these policies crippled you. A lot of paperwork done by a very highly sophisticated organization in the West. You keep putting conditions to make life difficult for local community. None of the local community organizations, CSOs or CBOs, have the fund to understand what the donor wants from them. It is what they call it in English, it is crippling them. Even the big organizations like Islamic Relief in the West, their officers are crippled or paralyzed by the more paperwork. More paperwork means more control. Means you cannot move unless I tell you do so, which is wrong. Because most of the people in the local community have the experience and the knowledge and the ability to deliver. You don't give them a regulation to do something which may take days and weeks to understand. And you create barriers for them to enable you to control them. So with these closing remarks, we say, do we need to create our own policy? Yes, we need. Do we need to be united to make it powerful? Yes, we need. Do we need to disseminate it and publicize it? Yes, we need. If you want to change the policy, a crippling, paralyzing policy, you have to create a new conducive policy. Because at the end of the day, you are standing for the service of the people. The other people outcome will be the deliverable and how much they deliver. They don't care about how you impact people. They care about the program. It's clear. It's clear.
A little bit curious, Doctor, because when it comes to our country, we have to submit our permission for each campaign or each country. That takes a long time. I mean, like.
Let me explain. There's two differences between the government regulation and the donor regulation. If we do not have a bridge and connection with the government to explain to them the seriousness of doing all this difficult, going through these difficult procedures to get registration or get permission. Somebody is dying today. You want me to submit a paper, a request to save him, and you give me the response after a week or 2 or 3? It's not right. We have to bridge the gap between us and the government organization. We have to do that. Yes?